Hello everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger, episode 39, the season finale. Yep, I've decided this is going to be the last episode of season 2. Main reasons is that there's a bunch of new stuff that's out and I want to start playing around with some new mods. I want to add a little bit of variety to this whole thing. And the old world, it's still fun when it works, but due to some of the mods that I've got going or something, I don't know exactly what's causing it, but I'm getting a lot of null pointer errors. And I can't track down the source, but I know that my Minecraft instance throws a lot of errors into the console every time I start it, so the save file and the mod pack is not as stable as it could be, so I'm going to start over anew. But we are going to take this episode here. It may be a little bit shorter than normal. We're going to take this episode to answer a few questions and point out a couple of things. Maybe cover a couple of topics that aren't covered very often. One thing in particular that I want to cover is the alveary, which I have back here. I had someone who asked, hey, you had bees that you said were ruined because they required a hellish environment. Couldn't you get this alveary to that point using alveary heaters? Couldn't you get an alveary to hellish by putting enough alveary heaters on it? I actually didn't know the answer to that question, so I tried it, and the answer is no, unfortunately you can't. The highest you can get an alveary is hot. However, that also brought up the question of how do you actually use alveary heaters? Well, there's 3 different types of alveary plugin. If we look at it here, you've got the regular alveary, you have the alveary heater, the alveary fan, and the swarmer. Now, they all use an alveary as the base block, but then they require other things. Basically, the way these work is that you can replace any of these 9 bottom blocks of the alveary with one of those expansion blocks, and it'll allow you to change how the alveary works. Alveary heaters raise the biome temperature. So here, the climate, the temperature is normal. If we were to put some heaters on this, we could get it to warm or hot. If we were to put some fans on it, we could drop it the whole way down to cool or possibly even icy. I didn't try that. The swarmer, to my understanding, allows when a queen dies, it has a chance of dropping multiple princesses instead of just one princess. That's what the swarmer does. Now, there's no plug-in slot here in order to put those things in. You have to replace the bottom blocks with them, and you have to apply buildcraft power to them. So you have to have an engine powering them in order for them to work. I found that a forestry electrical engine works just about fine. Let's see here. Another question is the village up here. The reason why the villagers had died off and had not recovered is because the villagers had chosen 2 different houses to live in. In order to actually get them to reproduce and repopulate the village, I had to go in and push them around and wall them off with cobblestone and push them into a single house and get them to work that way. Now, that had an unintended side effect in that they've all congregated around this side of the village and nobody wants to go over to this side. I could solve that by pushing people over, but it's not really necessary at this point. As far as cactus farms, the reason why I never made a cactus farm is because I didn't really need it. The biggest thing that I use cactus for is waterproofing. I could have set up a cactus farm and used that for biogas, but I'm sure, as you guys saw, I had enough biogas already. Like, I had tons and tons and tons of biogas. It was right in here. You can see I've got 1,600 buckets of it now and climbing. The quarries are still back there. They're still set up and doing their thing. The 3 smaller ones are still running. The larger one is stopped. So if you download the final world save and decide to continue where I've left off, you'll want to get that quarry restarted more than likely. For some reason, this bottling system here hasn't been working on demand. when it puts in a request with the crafting system, it comes in and it drops the stuff in here, but it doesn't extract it properly. I haven't figured out why, but it just never worked right. If you come over here and you look in the canned fuels thing, you're going to see there's a bunch of these ME cells left. These things are worth 100,000 EU if you put them in a generator, which is why I've got the generator bank set up over there. This nuclear system here, it is completely stable if you run quad uraniums. Just don't try to run anything else in here without, running it first. The reactor down there is still heated up. All you have to do is go drop some, not near depleted, but the re-enriched. All you have to do is drop some of those in. There's still some fuel and some oil back here. In the next season, you're going to see me do a lot more with oil and fuel than I did in this season. You're also going to see a lot more to do with magma, I think. Just because of one of the mods that I'm adding. If you caught my sneak preview live stream a few days ago, you may know what's coming up. This system actually worked remarkably well, the Ender Chest system, so I'm definitely going to use this again in the future. One thing that I was kind of upset about is I never did get a chance to show you guys some of the higher end Gregtech stuff. Like the the fusion reactor. But it requires such an obscene amount of iridium that there's no way I could get it in a reasonable amount of time without cheating it in. I don't want to cheat it. I did kind of want to show the interdimensional energy storage unit, which is an ender chest, 4 iridium plates, and then 4 adjustable energy storage units. But the adjustable energy storage units requires iridium plates, which means basically you need a stack of iridium to make one. I think the interdimensional storage unit is the most expensive thing in Gregtech. Even more expensive than the fusion reactor, if that's believable at all. There is one device that I do want to show you guys before I end this up, though. And it's something that I was intending to make all along but never got a chance to do. And it's a really cool, really awesome idea that Gregtech put in. It's not quite usable because it's too expensive for what it does. What I'm talking about is the LESU. The Lapatronic Energy Storage Unit. Which, if you take a look at this, it takes an NV transformer, an LV transformer, 2 advanced components, and I need to turn my aura off again, 2 advanced components, and an LESU block. And an LESU block is just a standard component. I think you can even use an electronic circuit. Redstone golden chipset, iron ore gate, controller circuit, iron electron tube, maybe not. Let's just go ahead and make a couple of electron tubes real quick. I've got a crap ton of resources back here for you guys, so you'll be able to have a lot of fun with this. Grab some redstone. Let's come back here. Let's grab some glass. Let's just go make a whole crap ton of these electronic circuits. Throw those in the thermionic fabricator. And we'll set up the recipe. I think you can use bronze electron tubes for it. Or copper, as it were. Or you can use an electronic circuit. Medium circuit board, iron electron tube, redstone golden chipset. Looks like you need bronze. So let's take these out of here. Just gonna make some bronze. Not like we're hurt for metals at the moment anyway. So, get ourselves a crap ton of bronze. And let's go like that. That's going to give us bronze electron tubes, which we're going to grab a good handful of the things. That should be plenty. Shouldn't need any more than that. If we do, oh well. Let's take the glass out of there and throw it down there. Alright, so to make an LESU block, first of all, let's go ahead and convert the rest of our lapis over. There we go. LESU blocks are just, you take lapis and you put it around one of these bronze electron tubes or another mid-range component. There we go. We even have some lapis left over. And then you need 2 highly advanced components. So let's get 2 advanced circuits. And we're going to need high weevils. We're going to need our LV transformer, and we're going to need an MV transformer, which our system knows how to make for us. So we put the LV transformer on there, we put the MV one on the bottom, we wait for our electronic circuits. Did we not actually request them? Apparently not. Need 2 advanced circuits, please. Missing 1 lapis lazuli block, that's why. Put our lapis away. There we go. And let's try this one more time. There we go. 2 advanced circuits. Put an LESU block there in the middle, and we'll put those like that, and that's going to give us our Lapatronic energy storage unit. Now, we're also going to need to get another LV transformer and another MV transformer. And we just need 3 copper ingots. We need 4 pieces of wood plank. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. 3 of you. 2 of you. Come on. Thank you. Now we need these components for a reason, and you'll see what the reason is in the very near future. I'm going to go ahead and take these over, and I'm going to put them on my power line over here. But I'm going to put them upstairs in the back room. I'm actually going to need some glass fiber to make this work properly, so let's just grab a handful of that. Alright, there's our glass fiber. And now we're going to come back here, and this is our main power line in. Let's go ahead and no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to have a feedback loop. We're going to bring this over here like this. We're going to transform the current down using an MV and then an LV transformer. We're going to have that go there, and we're going to have that plug into the side of our Lapatronic energy storage unit. Now when you plug that in, you can see it's filling up, and if you take a look at this, it has a maximum storage size of 1 million EU. It can take a maximum of 32 in, and it can only put out a maximum of 1. Now, that's awfully tiny. But if you take these LESU blocks and you attach those to it, each LESU block you attach increases the maximum by 1 million. It increases the maximum out by 1. So we can come over here and we can just put a whole bunch of these LESU blocks on here. And that's going to increase our storage. We now have 12 million storage with 32 max in and 12 max out. I'm sure you can see why I never got around to building this thing, because think of how many lapis blocks that I used to make this thing. I used a stack and a half of lapis blocks to make this LESU, and it's barely better than an MFSU. It's a really cool concept. I like the whole modular storage thing. I like the fact that if you had the lapis to build a room-size LESU, you could hold millions upon millions upon millions. It's just not... It's too expensive for what it does, you know? Now, if you get the max EU out to 32, the max EU in will go up to 128. If you get it up to 100... If you get the output to 128, the in will go to 256. Or 512, rather. I don't know about getting this to 512. I've never hooked enough up in sequence to make that happen, so I have no idea. Anyway, let's see here. What else can I cover? As far as bees, I've still got all of my bees out here. I've got a whole bunch of industrious. I've got a couple of empty apiaries. Most of the bees that are in here are purebreds. My beealyzer is in the chest in there. Feel free to grab it. These systems over here are still running. They are still self-sustaining. If you play the world for long, you're going to want to disable the tree farm again or switch it back to the rubber tree farm, because my rubber source in there is getting ridiculously overloaded. This system in here, I never really got around to finishing. I was really intending to do more with this, and you'll see more forestry set up from me in Season 3. Because I got a lot of stuff that I want to do coming up in Season 3 that some of the mods that I'm getting are going to really facilitate. Another mod that I never really touched on a whole lot was Railcraft. I basically just used it for tank storage and for the hobbyist steam engines down there. I would like to try and do a little more with Railcraft in the future as well. Honestly, I can't really think of anything better to do at the moment. I can't really think of anything to do other than stall further. So I'm just going to end this episode here. It's going to be a short episode, but I mean, it's a season finale, so basically just giving you guys an overview of what's here, what's waiting for you. As always, you will find the download to the final world save in the description of this video. By the time it uploads, I should have everything up. And you guys can expect to see me sometime, probably either tonight or tomorrow, with the first episode and the installation video for Season 3. So this has been Nightdagger with Let's Play Modded Minecraft Season 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it. I will see you all again very soon. And I will see you also in Mutton Shop in Season 3. Catch you guys then.